Guys, another thing you should know about me is that my mind is repetitive. For instance, whenever I'm playing a song or some music I liked, I can play it for the whole day. Like, even like to me, even days at times they seem to be the same. I don't know, maybe it's because usually I code and that's the only thing I ever do. So here's what I wanna tell you guys. You see, now back in this point, this right here, this thing I just showed you, you know, the reason why I'm saying I slightly lost my mind at some point, I was slightly insane. It is because whenever, okay, my obsession with code even got to a point where, like, mentally, I had this pattern and it kept repeating like the whole day. As long as I'm awake, I'll keep thinking this. I will keep visualizing this. I'll keep seeing these lines like in my head repeating themselves, you guys. Like I'll keep seeing this pattern. For instance, let me just say, for instance, like now I would think this line, and then I will think this line, and then I will think this line, and then I will think this line. And once I'm done doing that, immediately again, I'm thinking this line. I'm then thinking this line. I'm then thinking that one, followed by that. Like the process will keep repeating the whole fucking ass day. You see, to me, I sort of like the thing, but it make me even weirder than I was supposed to. Because like this obsession, I couldn't stop thinking about it. You see, the funny thing is, not only did it stop there, right? It eventually came to a point where these lines are no longer just lines. Like I'm no longer seeing them this way. It even go to a point where 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 I see them based on some rhythm of whatever music I'm currently working on at that moment. Let me make you an example. So if, for instance, I'm listening to some track with this rhythm, so it's da, 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 da. So this is how these lines will go. I'll visualize and see them in my head this way. Da, 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 da. Like the whole thing will be based off on whatever. The whole thing will, the whole thing will be based on whatever rhythm that I'm currently listening to, whatever track that I'm currently listening to. As a result, I ended up becoming multi-dimensional when it comes to music. It didn't matter what genre it is. It could be electronic music, it could be R&B, whatever it is. It could be even like African songs. Like I did not care about the lyrics at all. It could be some song in a language that I don't even understand. As long as it has that rhythm, to me, I will find it interesting. Why? Like it brings this thing to me. Like it makes me feel it again. You guys, it's not like there was any program or whatever. What was happening is like the whole thing like kept repeating within me. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it. And to me, like I really adore the whole thing. Okay? thing is, not only did it stop there on these lines, you see, I was just showing it to you using lines, okay? The thing went to a point where I'm seeing planes now. Remember, I did a lot of calculus, so I even went to advanced calculus. So the whole visualizing thing was part of what I was dealing with back then. So as a result, I ended up finding myself no longer thinking about planes, no longer thinking about lines, but planes instead. I will show it to you. For instance, you see, I'll think about a plane looking like this. It's right. So mentally, I'll have something. Oh shit. Mentally, I'll see a plane going this way, and I'll then see another one going that way, another one going that way, and another one going that way. I'm not sure, it's kind of hard to explain it to you in words, you guys, but again, the very same idea applies. The one that applied on those lines, like the rhythm that applies on those lines, was the very same thing that was happening with planes, you see. And guys, this whole thing I'm telling you about, like, it took place for a long period of time. You see, the lines alone, they probably took me about a year or so. I cannot quite remember. And the planes, maybe they took me 8 months or maybe 18 months. I'm not quite sure. Not only did it stop there, you see, now the final thing, it was no longer about planes. No, it was about lines. Now, it was about people. By people, I mean, like, I would see these characters in my head. I would be obsessed about these characters in my head dancing in a way that I cannot explain it to people. Thing is, like, I did not, back then when the whole thing started, I did not have a thing. Like, no resources for maybe creating characters or animating characters. Like, I had nothing. But the whole thing stayed with me. Like, whenever I'm walking, especially when I'm on my own, the only time I would be okay is when I'm talking to people. But immediately I shut my mouth, I stay on my head. The only thing I will see are either these lines, these planes, or this character dancing on my head. You see, the peak of this whole thing, I remember it was when I was seeing these planes and lines on each and every person I lay my eyes on. It's like I would see these lines and planes intersecting on his or her head, and there was the peak of it, guys. Like, it was way too much for me back then. I remember, like, sometimes I would even have hard time sleeping at night thinking about these planes, so, and these lines. Because of that,